My name is Max, and I want to take you to a summer afternoon in upstate New York sometime in the 1850s. A little boy named John is sitting on a wooden chair. His father William says, "Come on, son, jump. I will catch you." John jumps. William steps back. John hits the floor hard. William leans down and says, "Let that be a lesson to you. Never trust anyone, not even me." John D. Rockefeller never forgot that lesson. And by the time he was done applying it, he had accumulated a fortune worth, in today's money, somewhere between $300 billion and $400 billion. This is not a story about a lucky man. This is a story about the most methodical, systematic, and ruthless accumulation of economic power that America has ever produced. William Avery Rockefeller was a traveling salesman and by most accounts a spectacular con artist. He sold patent medicines that did not work. He was charming, completely without guilt. What John took was something structural, the understanding that trust is earned, not assumed, that sentimentality is a liability in business, and that the only real security comes from controlling the game rather than playing it. John was 16 when he got his first job as an assistant bookkeeper. He once tracked down a 3-cent error and spent an entire afternoon finding it. In 1859, Edwin Drake drilled the first successful oil well in Titusville. Within a few years, Cleveland had become a major refining hub. Rockefeller looked at the oil business and saw something most people did not. The drilling business was chaos, but refining was manufacturing. Costs you could control, efficiency you could optimize. He did not want to find oil. He wanted to process it. He wanted to be the choke point that everyone else had to pass through. By 1870, he incorporated Standard Oil of Ohio. But what Rockefeller was building was not primarily about capital, it was about a system. Subscribe right now, because what Max is about to explain about how Rockefeller operated is one of the most extraordinary business stories ever told. Rockefeller understood that the railroads needed volume. They were willing to pay for predictability in the form of rebates, secret discounts not available to small shippers. He wanted the railroads to give him a portion of what his competitors paid to ship. His competitors would be involuntarily subsidizing his business every time they tried to compete with him. When the arrangement became public, it triggered a genuine political crisis. Independent oil producers burned Rockefeller in effigy. They lobbied Congress. The outcry was enormous. Rockefeller smiled politely and waited. The arrangement was officially dissolved, and then he went back to negotiating private rebate arrangements through other channels. In roughly 3 months, Rockefeller bought 22 of the 26 independent refineries in Cleveland. He showed each owner his books and gave them a choice: sell now or I make this very difficult. By 1879, Standard Oil controlled approximately 91% of U.S. oil refining capacity. One man, 9 years. Ida Tarbell spent years exposing the secret rebates, the railroad arrangements, the methodical destruction of competition. Her work in McClure's magazine triggered a volcanic public reaction. In 1911, the Supreme Court ruled unanimously that Standard Oil was an illegal monopoly and ordered it broken into 34 companies. Rockefeller was on a golf course when he heard. He said the stock would go up. He was right. The combined value of his shares in all 34 successor companies was significantly higher than before the breakup. The government's attempt to punish him made him richer. In his later decades, Rockefeller gave away approximately $550 million. He funded the University of Chicago, the Rockefeller Foundation, medical research that helped eradicate hookworm. Was this guilt? Was it strategy? Was it genuine belief? The honest answer is probably all three simultaneously. The choke point principle: do not compete in the chaos. Find the step everyone else must pass through and build your position there. The volume principle: scale creates advantages invisible at small volume. In personal finance, the difference between saving 5% and 25% is not just a number. It is a different relationship with every institution. The patience principle. Rockefeller played the longest game consistently. The people who panicked got his price. The people who held got the outcome he had already calculated. The information principle. Be ruthlessly honest with yourself about your own numbers, your actual net worth, your actual savings rate. People who do not know their real numbers cannot make real decisions. Make sure you subscribe right now because Max has a lot more of these coming, and every single video is built to give you the real story behind the money and power that shapes the world you live in.